Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Northside Recap. We are here in the Book of James.
Yes.
But before we get to that, we have to talk about the dessert auction.
Absolutely, we need to.
That was a blast.
A lot of fun.
What was it? $11,100.
And $70, yeah.
That's the most we've ever done at a dessert auction, right?
By about $4,000. Yeah, it was. We kind of about 45 minutes into it. I think we were about $5,000 about 45 minutes into it. So,
and our goal was 6,000 because we knew that we had 28 kids that had said they want to go to church camp this year. So we knew we needed $6,000 added to what we did at the quarter auction to be able to do that. We surpassed that, which is great because 2 more people signed up that night to go to church camp.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, and then we're having to rent vehicles to haul all the kids down there. So yeah, it was just super cool. Just it was just a ton of fun. I think everybody laughed and had a ton of fun, but then the amount of money we raised was just unbelievable.
What desserts did you get?
Lemon cookies.
Okay. Oh yeah, you fought hard for the lemon cookies.
Yeah, I really did. Unfortunately, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got your peach cobbler, which was delicious.
Thanks.
So next year when she makes peach cobbler, you're gonna want to bid big on it because it is fire.
Yeah.
And then
I'm gonna try to send 2 kids to camp next year with my peach cobbler.
And then Pam Crane's apple pecan caramel pie, which is pretty amazing. Yeah.
Real good. I got that cinnamon roll cake from Addie.
Yeah.
We had it. Well, we had it at team meeting on Monday. It was really delicious. But I love anything cinnamon. Like that's for sure how to get my attention. So it was good. Cinnamon rolls went real big. We had some really great items that went for a lot this year. So that was fun. And I feel like we had a really great turnout too. Full sanctuary.
Yeah.
Lots of yummy food. Shout out to the kitchen team who made a delicious dinner to kick us off. I thought it was good.
And teens did an awesome job.
They did.
They worked hard.
They
did. Served well. None of them seemed to complain about anything.
No.
They just had a smile on their face. And
in fact, they kept coming to me like, what else would you like us to do? Do you want us to go clear trash? Like, is there anything? And I was like, oh, I love you guys.
Yeah, they did really, really good.
I think they earned it. We're talking about wisdom this week. Okay. And you said knowledge is knowing the information and wisdom is knowing how to use the information.
Yeah.
And this is specifically kind of talking about, you talked about how do we seek wisdom in the middle of a trial?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I wrote down that you said there's nothing like a trial to show us how much wisdom we need. So can you kind of talk about that? Like when we talked last week, when we experience trials, count it joy, right? To count joy. But how do we seek wisdom? What does that look like?
Yeah. I think one, as I said, whenever you're in the midst of a trial, in the midst of suffering, that's when you realize how much you don't know.
Yeah.
How much help you really need, right? How unequipped you are to deal with whatever it is. And typically when that happens, it causes us to seek out help, right? And specifically maybe seek out wisdom. You know, the question is, how do I get through this, right? How do I deal with this?
Yeah.
You know, what do I do next? And that's where wisdom comes in. And I think the way we seek that out is, one, we've got to lean into our relationship with the Lord, right? Because he's where wisdom comes from.
Yeah.
I think, at least for me, my go-to is I want to talk to somebody like tangibly, right?
Yeah.
Face to face, and get their take on the situation. And that can be helpful, but it also depends on who that person is, right?
Yeah.
They may not give you good, solid, biblical, guidance. So first and foremost, you've got to seek the Lord and just really go to him and say, I don't understand this. I don't know what to do here. Like, I need your help, right? I need you to show me, what the next steps are. And what I have found is a lot of times what he does is he typically will send you somebody who will give you good, solid biblical guidance. And that kind of helps you start to work through whatever the situation is.
Yeah. I love when God does that. Like when he sends someone or something to happen. I told you like last week, you sent me like a Bible verse and it was like that Bible verse had been on my mind. I had been praying
Yeah.
to God about something else, and I felt like that came to mind, and I was like, "I don't know what to do with that," you know?
Yeah.
And then you texted me and was like, "Hey, like, this I
Yeah.
think this is important for you to know," and I was like, "Oh my gosh." Like, I
Yeah.
think that was God being like, "I'm gonna come in and reinforce it.
Yeah.
In case
Yeah.
you're going to say that this wasn't me, I'm gonna send someone to say,
Absolutely.
this is what I want you to hear." So, um, you said we often don't have the humility to ask for help. Why do you think we as humans, and this is definitely including myself, have such a hard time asking the God of the universe to help or give us wisdom?
I I think it's ingrained in us
Mhm.
from a very young age to just do things ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Like, but and to a certain extent, right? That's what we do as parents, right? We want
Mhm.
our kids to be independent,
Yeah. Mhm.
right? So we're teaching them to be independent, right? We're
Mhm.
teaching them, no, you need to learn to tie your shoe. You need to learn
Mhm.
to do these things, which of course we need to do all those things, right?
Mhm.
But I think what that does is it creates in us this mindset of
Mhm.
I've got to do everything
Yeah.
myself. But then
Yeah.
even our American culture
Mhm.
sets in, and our
Mhm.
American culture is pull yourself up by your bootstraps
Mhm.
and go to work.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
American culture is you work harder.
Mhm.
And if you work harder, then things will work out better for you.
Yeah.
And you've got to do it yourself because nobody will do it for you, right? That's all
Mhm.
the culture says around us. So I
Mhm.
think that that inevitably is what seeks in. But then ultimately, when we ask for help, we're admitting
Mhm.
that we can't do it.
Yeah.
And we have a really hard time looking weak
Yeah. Yeah.
or having a really hard time looking as if we don't have it all together.
Mhm.
So,
Do you feel like we've, like, confused maturity and independence and kind of, like, twisted the 2 in some ways? Because I feel like you mentioned culture, and this is a really random thought coming out of my brain and to a microphone near you right now. But, like, I think when you talk about culture and the whole idea, like, yeah, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, everything's so independent, but, like, when you look back, like, even, like, in biblical times, like, people were raised to be independent, to be mature, to be, hardworking men, but their house was built down the road from mom and dad and they started their family and it seemed like there was more dependence culture, right? But it wasn't like a weak, these kids can't do anything. It was like, no,
it was
it
community.
was
Yeah.
community. And I feel like we think community is like we want community, but in a really different way. Like, does that make sense what I'm saying?
It does. I think as Americans, we want community in regards to friendship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We want to have people that we can go to a ball game with,
Yeah.
that we can have dinner with.
Yeah.
We want people that our kids can play with their
Mm-hmm.
kids
Mm-hmm.
and everybody gets along, but it stays predominantly very surface level,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It never really goes beyond that. It
Mhm.
never gets, man, our family is really struggling
Mhm.
and we really need help.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's never like we don't know how we're going to make it through this season
Mhm. Mhm.
and I need to reach out to my community.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, what we tend to do is we tend to hide those things.
Mhm.
And even I think when I think churches, that's their thought behind like small groups is we want people to
Mhm.
be in community. So when they're struggling, right,
Mhm.
they have people there to help them. But it's good intention, but I think
Mhm.
ultimately that never really gets to
Mhm.
that point
Yeah.
because it still stays surface,
Yeah.
right? We'll talk about a Bible study, but we're not really going to dive into what we're dealing with as individuals.
Yeah. There's not really like confessional
No.
time, like some of that the Bible says like we should be doing, but that's not worked into the 7 to 8
Yeah.
at so and so's house on a Tuesday,
Yeah. Yeah,
like
and there's real no accountability,
yeah. Yeah.
and that's like those are all words we say we want,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
when it really comes down to somebody calling you on the carpet about something in
Yeah.
accountability, man, we push hard against that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, in biblical times there was a sense of community.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
mean, goodness, their wedding feast lasted for days, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's this real sense of community that I just don't think that we really have and I would say as Americans.
Mhm.
I've been to
Yeah.
other countries and you see the sense of community there
Yeah.
where man, this body of believers
Mhm.
depend on one another.
Yeah. Well, here in America, we won't ask our neighbor for a cup of sugar. We'll Uber over a whole thing of sugar,
Yeah,
and
yeah, well,
pay $10 delivery fee because why would we go next door for what
yeah.
we need?
I
Like,
mean, I can
yeah.
remember my grandmother like telling me, "Hey, go to Miss Robinson's house
Mhm.
and ask her if I could have 2 eggs
Mhm.
and some sugar."
Yeah.
And I would go next door
Mhm.
and 2 eggs and some sugar
Mhm.
and come back. And so, yeah, but I think we've lost that
Mhm.
over the years, right? To
Mhm.
where we won't just the simple things that, you know, I mean, but goodness gracious, as men,
Mhm.
we struggle to ask for help, right?
Yeah.
As men, we would probably rather hire somebody
Mhm.
to do the job than to
Yeah.
say, tell a buddy, hey, I need your help because I don't know how to do this.
Yeah. Somehow that feels more manly. So,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I just didn't have the time
Yeah.
to do it.
We called the
So
professionals,
yeah,
which we're not like dogging on
no, absolutely not.
professionals.
We need plumbers, like,
We need plumbers.
yes, but I think there is a point to where there's
Yeah.
times where like, man, somebody genuinely wants to help
Mhm.
and we just cease to ask for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the devil's in that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because I think community, like Jesus wants community for us.
Mhm.
Like that is community is, yeah, what holds you accountable, what keeps you going, what lifts you up, and so if we can isolate and make you think that that's a good thing and make you think that that actually means that you're a rock star, that you're at
Yeah.
the top, that's why you're lonely is because then you were isolated and lonely
Yeah.
and feel like the whole world is on your shoulders.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, mm,
Well, I mean, even I think that's even again, this is way off what we were talking about, but
I mean, we're already
yeah.
down the road.
Yeah, but I even think that's why we block blessings
Mhm.
from
Mhm.
people, like people who genuinely want to bless us in some
Yeah.
form or fashion,
Yeah.
and we try to block it and try to
Yeah.
stiff arm it because we don't want them to think that we're just this charity case,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, it's just simply they just wanted to be a blessing,
Yeah.
right? And we get in a certain way about it. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how many times I do that,
Yeah.
to where somebody wants to bless my family and then I feel bad
Yeah.
that they blessed my family. And it's just like, no, obviously the Lord told them to do that,
Yeah. Mhm.
or they just wanted to do it.
Yeah.
But it's our mindset of we can't ask for help,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and, and I think that keeps us from a lot of things.
Yeah. That's good. So you were kind of talking about like when trials come or like when you hit a point where you need wisdom, which we need wisdom every day, but um you kind of asked like what's the process? Like what if we're being honest, what is your process? And you had mentioned like you might look at past experiences or talk to other people or
Mhm.
go read a book like
Yeah.
you know our natural tendency, and I feel like I connect a lot with that. I was like, honestly, yeah, that's what I do too.
Mhm.
Like if I need wisdom, I'm like looking for podcasts, I'm watching
Yeah.
leadership studies or whatever, like whatever I'm looking for wisdom in, like, but the ultimate wisdom is like from the Lord. And that's usually the last place we go is like,
Yeah.
I'm going to go pray about this. I'm going to go ask God what he wants me to do. I'm going to go find scripture
Mhm.
that helps me with the situation. Um, so how do we like, if someone's like, I literally don't know how to ask for wisdom or like how to seek God for wisdom, like what can that practically look like? Because I feel it feels more practical, if we're being honest, to like pick up a book on said topic,
Mhm.
right? Or like, well, I'm gonna call so and so who's gone through this and get and those aren't like bad things. That's
Yeah.
not evil of you.
Mhm.
But if we're not seeking the Lord first, we've got it backwards. So like, how do we
Yeah.
do that?
Well, I think I'm glad you brought the good point. Like all those things is okay to do. It's okay to listen to a podcast. It's okay to read a book.
Good. I love podcasts.
It's okay to go, and we want you to listen to this podcast.
Podcasts are great.
Yes.
I literally forgot we were doing a podcast when I said that.
And it's good to seek out godly counsel. All those things are valuable. But if they're our first source, then we're missing it, right?
Yeah.
So I think going to the Lord first, I think sometimes in of itself, what that does is it breaks down this I can do it myself mentality.
Yeah.
And it just says, God, I really need you here.
Yeah.
Like, and I think what makes it difficult for people to do that is because very rarely do we hear an audible voice that says, thank you, my child. You know, like, this is what I've been waiting for. Here's your 12 steps to do whatever. Like, that just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And so our thought is like, well, it just seems in such a waste when I should just go right to this book or right to this person who's going to tell me what to do.
And this has a 6-step process to it.
Yes.
And at the end, all my problems will be solved.
Yes. So, but when we go to the Lord first, it's really us saying, I can't do this on my own.
Yeah.
Like, I need you. And when we, admit that we need our Heavenly Father, I just think it puts us in such a better headspace.
Yeah.
Than to be able to receive wisdom from the different places that God's going to provide it.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's not probably going to come to you in an audible voice. But he may put you on somebody's heart, and that person may text you and say, hey, I was thinking about you this week. Yeah. God gave me this verse he wanted me to share with you.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden you're like, holy cow, that's exactly what I've been going through.
Yeah.
Right?
That's good.
Or, God, you're randomly scrolling and an article or a podcast pops up that's about the exact thing that you're dealing with at the time, right? Or somebody comes to you and says, hey, this is something I went through. Maybe this can help you. Or you sit in a Sunday sermon and you walk out and you feel like, I felt like that dude just preached to me, right? Well, that's all God.
Yeah.
Working those things to give you the wisdom that you need.
Yeah.
But we may not recognize them.
Yeah.
If we don't hit our knees first.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and then even after, I feel like the next part would be, because like, please don't get all your theology and all your wisdom from TikTok, right? But
absolutely.
Let's say there is, I've had situations before and a TikTok comes up and I'm like, that kind of does speak exactly to what I was praying about. But then take that back to God in prayer. Yeah. Like, Lord, I saw this. Is this you? Like, and can this be backed up by scripture? And you can even bring it back around and ask God for wisdom. And then he may use people or videos or podcasts or whatever, and then take that back and confirm it then too, Yeah. I think that's good. You talked, then kind of the end, you talked about a warning for wisdom and you said, don't doubt. And I've been excited to talk about this part because I think it can be hard to grasp sometimes. I think there can be some weird kind of trauma or shame in this. Well, I did ask God for this thing. I asked God to heal my grandma and it didn't happen. Was that my fault because I doubted? And so I really appreciated you brought up Mark 9 and the father who said, I believe, help my unbelief. And you kind of talked about it's not the amount of faith, it's who you're placing your faith in. So can you just expand on that? What does that mean? What is on us? What is up to God? How do you handle that?
That's a great question. Well, first and foremost, everything is really on the Lord. Right? He's the one who's going to act, and he's the one who's going to do what he does. I think our job is to trust him, is to trust that he's good.
Yeah.
It's to go to him in prayer, right? And I've said this often, when it comes to us praying, praying for us is not us rubbing a magic lamp and us
Yeah.
getting what we want.
Yeah.
Prayer is an alignment process.
Yeah.
It's us getting our heart aligned
Yeah.
with the heart of the Father.
Yeah.
And so many times we look at prayer as like, well, I prayed for this and God said no.
Mhm.
He didn't answer my prayer.
Mm.
Well, he did.
Mhm.
He just said no.
Yeah.
And no is still an answer.
Yeah.
But if you believe that God is good,
Mhm.
you're going to understand that the no, that there was going to be some way God saw something in the future
Yeah.
and has the big picture in mind, right?
Yeah.
As we said last week, we serve a big picture God, right?
Mhm.
He sees
Mhm.
everything. So yeah, but the doubting part of it is hard because we do want to have faith, but then we do have these small seeds of doubt
Mhm.
that crop up. I would love to tell you that in every decision I've made, I've been 100% positive that that was the right decision. But I don't know if there's been one decision where I've been like, I'm 100% sure of this thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there's been some where I'm like, about 90% sure,
Mhm.
or I'm about 75% sure,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I have some doubts here,
Mhm.
like even coming here to Ark City to Pastor Northside, like I was very adamant with the Lord, like, I need the vote to be 100% or I'm not coming.
Mhm.
But even when the vote was 100%, there was still this doubt of what if I just mess it all up?
Mm. Yeah.
Like, what if I fail at this, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a lack of faith
Mhm.
as much as just our human nature to understand that, man, sometimes there are those doubts that we have,
Yeah.
but it's taking the faith that we do have
Yeah.
and allowing that faith to be stronger than what those doubts are kind of screaming at us during that time.
Yeah. 'Cause faith does not equal understanding.
No, no.
Sometimes I think we're like, well, faith will be, I have faith because I know this didn't happen. The amount of times I felt like I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. We're stepping this way and it might be the right decision. It could be the wrong one. I don't know, like
yeah.
but faith is knowing that God is sovereign
Hmm.
anyways. Faith is knowing that
Yeah,
you'll never get too far gone, that you'll never go so far off track. So like even if you make a decision today that wasn't exactly what God had planned for you, that does not mean he can't get back,
yeah.
get you back to where he wants you or do something really good with this
Hmm.
detour you took anyways,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
um,
Well, I mean,
mm,
faith equals action at the
mhm,
end of the day, right?
mhm,
Like if you're having faith, it's going to cause you to have some sort of action
mhm,
to it, right? Like I'm having faith in this, so I'm going to act because I have faith that God is in this thing.
mhm,
So I'm going to make this decision
mhm,
because I have faith that this is what God wants me to do,
mhm,
right? I'm going to do this. So faith brings about action.
mhm,
And I think sometimes we hear about doubt and we immediately pair doubt and faith against each other.
mm. Yeah, we
Where
think they're just total, like,
yeah,
opposites, like
where I think sometimes they can kind of work in tandem a little
mhm,
bit, right?
mhm,
Because with every amount of faith that we have, there's always that what if,
yeah,
but faith drives us to action. It's fear that keeps us
mhm,
standing still,
mhm,
right? It's the
mm,
fear that is really the thing that overtakes us,
yeah,
not necessarily our doubt.
yeah,
It's the fear of, okay, I can't do this
yeah,
and I won't do this because it won't work out,
mm, yeah,
right?
yeah,
Where faith says, okay, I'm not 100% sure this is going to work out,
mhm,
but I have enough faith in God
yeah,
that I'm going to take this step
yeah,
and know that He's going to work the things out that need to be worked out.
yeah,
But fear keeps us sitting still
yeah,
and not taking that step of action.
that's good.
So,
I don't wanna be caught sitting still, you
no,
know?
but I mean, you run constantly, so I don't think that's going to be an issue in your life, Christian.
Oh, called out. I don't know if that's a good thing or a
No,
bad thing.
but honestly, it's a great thing. I think
Uh,
you are a great picture of faith
of not knowing what the heck
and
I'm doing.
no, faith and doubt really kind of working together, because I've seen you, and especially in regards to UGM,
Mhm,
make decisions and
mhm,
step forward in faith.
mhm.
But I also know that not every single one of those decisions were you like, yep, this is 100% what needs to happen, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
had doubts in them, you
yeah,
had questions, but
yeah.
you just knew,
Mhm,
I feel really strongly this is what the Lord wants us to do.
mhm,
So you made the
mhm.
decision and we walk forward in faith, right? So I
Yeah.
think you're a good picture of that.
Well, thanks. I feel like I've gotten really good at saying, "Yeah, I don't know." But, like, literally, but that actually is growth for me because I hate saying I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I would struggle with that a lot, and I feel like one of the best things God has ever done is, like, through UGM, he has just forced me to not know so many things, you know, that, like, but it's been so good because I feel like my faith has grown because it is a humbling experience to look at people
Mhm.
and go, "I don't know, but here's what I can tell you," or like, "But I believe God's gonna work
Yeah.
through it. I don't know how we're gonna do this. I'm still I'm still gonna step towards it."
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
think about Abraham for a moment, right?
Mhm,
God goes to Abraham and says, "Pack up your stuff and go to the land that I will show you."
mhm.
So what
That's
does he
it.
tell his wife? "Hey, hun, we're moving. Where are
Mhm,
we going?" "I don't know." "Do you know the right direction?" "No." God
mhm,
just said, "Pack up," and then he's going to show us where he wants us to go.
mhm.
I got a feeling Abraham probably had some doubt there,
Yeah. Yep.
right? Like he didn't have the whole picture.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes doubt forces our hand to really rely on God more.
Mhm.
But then you fast forward in Abraham's life, and what does God tell him to do? Take your only son
Yeah.
and sacrifice him.
Mm. Yeah.
And Abraham's like, okay. And the whole time up the mountain, he keeps telling Isaac, God will provide a lamb.
Mm.
God will provide a lamb. And he gets up there, places his son on the altar,
Mhm,
and literally is ready to sacrifice his
mhm.
son. So you know that entire time there was a lot of wrestling with
Yeah.
Abraham there, right?
Yeah. I can't
And
imagine the prayers going on in
yeah,
Abraham's head of, "Lord, I need you
yeah,
to come
God, I'm
through here."
trusting you, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm
Yeah.
trusting you here.
Yeah.
I don't see the big picture.
Yeah.
I don't have it all figured out, but I'm trusting you.
Yeah.
And that's that tension between faith and doubt.
Yeah.
Like doubts in of itself is not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
I think it's very much part of how God understands the way that we work. But when we allow faith to be the driving force, and we can honestly say, God, I don't understand this, but I'm going to keep moving, right? I'm going to keep marching. I'm going to keep doing what you've called me to do.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why this thing is happening. God always comes through.
Yeah.
And Abraham saw that, right?
Yeah. He knew.
Children of Israel saw that when God told them to walk around the city.
Mhm.
By about day 3, people were getting frustrated
Mhm.
and like, this is stupid,
Mhm.
and so, but then you see Moses and the children of Israel,
Mhm.
right? Where many times they were walking by faith and they had to
Mhm.
trust that God would supply every need for them,
Mhm.
right? And
Mhm.
God told Moses at one point, you need water? Okay, hit the rock.
Mhm.
And Moses does, and water comes out, and right. And
Mhm.
then the very next thing, what does God tell him to do? Speak to the rock this time.
Mhm.
But what does Moses do? Moses is like, no, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's the way to go.
Mhm.
So he hits the rock. So that's when then doubt
Mhm.
prevailed,
Mhm.
right? Like he could have thought, I'm not sure about this, but I know this is what God told me to do. So I'm going
Yeah.
to speak to the rock,
Yeah.
right? But no, in that moment, doubt, disobedience then set in because he
Mhm.
just didn't do what God told him to do.
Yeah.
He could have did what God told him to do, still not 100% sure
Yeah.
if that would work out.
Yeah.
So I think that's that tension between faith
Yeah.
and doubt.
I think I told you this. I don't know. You were speaking at Spring Rain Conference a few weeks ago, and you mentioned when Peter walked on water with Jesus, right? Peter says, "Hey, if it's you, call me out to the water." Jesus is like, "All right, get out here." And Peter does walk on water.
Yeah.
Then he looks around, sees the storm, sees the waves, literally takes his eyes off of Jesus, and he starts to sink. And even then, Jesus pulls him up and puts him back in the boat, right? He doesn't let Peter sink. And that wasn't the end of Peter. I remember you talking about it. I was trying to find, it's on a sticky note somewhere in here, but I just felt like the Lord kind of said to me at that point, he was like, you realized you're on water now, haven't you? And I just and that's exactly where I'm at in some things and some decisions. And I feel like I am standing on water, and that there are a lot of waves and there are storms, and I'm trying really hard to focus on Jesus, and keep my eye on Jesus. But what I realized in that moment is I kind of started to wrestle with God on that and be like, well, but, was standing on the water is not the problem. Even the storm raging around is not the problem. When Peter had a problem is when he took his eyes off of Jesus. It's actually really cool that Peter walked on water.
Absolutely.
It's such an honor. It's really cool that Jesus didn't keep that to himself, right? Because Jesus just could have been the only one who walked on water, but he's like,
and it still would have been this massive miracle.
Yes. He's like, you got the faith, Peter? Join me. Come. And it's like, how many times does God invite us to get out of the boat, walk on water, do something for him, be so dependent on him that if our eyes slip, we might start to sink. But even when our eyes slip, because we are humans, even when we start to look at the storm, your God is right there. Come here. And he does, and he's like, Peter, you doubted. Peter, why did you doubt? But Jesus still didn't let Peter go down. And I that has just been on my mind a lot recently. It's just that, and reminding myself that when things are hard or when I feel like I don't know anything, it's like, okay, what my job is not to figure out how to walk on water. It is to keep my eyes on Jesus. And then to know that his grace is so sufficient that if my eyes come off of Jesus, which I don't want them to, but if I get focused on the storm, I still have a God who's going to reach in and pull me out.
Yeah, that's good. Well, think about it this way, because in that story, you see Peter struggling with doubt 2 different times, but he's only condemned on it 1 time.
Yeah.
First time he struggled with doubt was when Jesus, if that's really you, tell me to do this. That was not this declaration of faith. He didn't say, Jesus, I know that's you.
He's trying to figure out
Tell
this is
me to
a
come,
scary ghost.
Right? He's just God, I'm not sure if this is you or not. Jesus, if this is really you, tell me to do this. Jesus says, do it. His faith caused him to take action. He gets out of the boat. He walks on water, right? Awesome. Should have been the end of the story. But his doubt creeped in again when he began to notice his circumstances and notice the waves. And then it's all of a sudden, his eyes shift from Jesus to the waves, and the doubt creeps in again. Is God really going to continue to help me now?
Because now it doesn't make sense.
Yes.
Because now I'm realizing that I shouldn't be able to be here.
I'm doing something that I shouldn't be able to do. Doubt creeps in big time. He takes his eyes off Jesus. He thinks Jesus rescues him. And then Jesus says, why did you doubt me? He didn't say in the beginning, why are you doubting that this is me? He realized, okay, you really believe this is me. You're just a little bit like the father in Mark chapter 9, where you need help overcoming your unbelief. So I'm going to do that for you. I'm going to help you overcome your unbelief right now. And you're going to walk on water. But then him doing what is unbelievable, and him then taking his eyes off of Christ and seeing the waves, that's when the doubt and the fear really sank in. And that's when Jesus, and I don't think it was a condemning. I think it was just Jesus was like, Peter, man, you were doing it, bud. Why did you doubt?
Because Jesus desires for us to have that faith. I don't think so. I don't think it was how embarrassing, Peter. It was probably just I had you.
Yeah.
You could have kept going.
Yeah.
We could have walked this whole thing.
Yeah.
I would have kept you in that. Why do you even think they got on the boat anyways? Actually, this is so off topic, but like that's one thing in this story. I'm like, so Jesus tells the disciples to just like go on without him, and they just get on a boat and start. So like, I'm just wondering how they thought Jesus was going to keep up with them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
It's
yeah.
a whole other thing, but
it was obvious that Jesus had he had a plan, right? And
yeah,
and I really think that Jesus knew,
yeah,
I need to teach Peter something here,
yeah,
right? And so that's what it was.
yeah.
But yeah, they were just like, okay,
There had to have been at least one disciple that was like, "But are we coming back for you? Like, I don't So you want, like, really, you want us to leave right now, and we'll see you later?"
Yeah, it's funny when you look at the disciples and the things they were just like, okay,
Yeah,
right? Like, okay.
yeah,
And then the things that they struggled with, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it just
That's
it boggles your mind. Yeah.
Because John says, right? It's John at the end that he's like, "And by the way, not everything Jesus did is in this book.
Yeah.
If there was, like, this book would be so much longer."
Yeah,
like
the
he
end of
literally the end is
John,
like,
yeah.
y'all don't even know.
Yeah, I mean,
We
he
wrote
literally
some of it down.
Yeah, he literally said all of the words and the things that he did, I suppose not even all the books in the world could contain them.
It's just so cool.
Right? So, like, they heard so many other teachings, and they heard so many other things, and they saw so many other things, right? And but for me, it's encouraging because these were 12 guys who literally walked and talked and lived with
Yeah.
Jesus
Yeah.
for 3 years,
Yeah.
and they still doubted.
Yeah.
And
That gives us hope.
Yeah, they were still unsure.
Yeah.
And there were times where they still messed up.
Yeah.
And they still dropped the ball, right? And they had a front row seat to the creator of the universe. And some of them even saw things that, I mean, some of them saw his glory, saw him transfigured.
Yeah.
And see Moses and Elijah, like some of them, Peter,
Yeah.
James, and John saw some pretty unbelievable things. But yet, Peter still,
Yeah. Couldn't wrap their human minds around it.
yeah,
Yeah.
but Peter still doubted, and Peter
Yeah.
still denied, right?
Yeah.
Like, so
Yeah.
it gives us hope that if those guys can be considered pillars
Yeah.
of the faith, like, man, we've got hope.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
For sure. I wrote this down. What does double-minded look like? Is something I want to talk about. You talked towards the end about don't be double-minded. And the problem wasn't that father in Mark 9, when I believe, help my unbelief. Like, double-minded is not having some doubts, but it is trying to have one foot in both directions in a sense. Can you, like, what does that look like in today's world? What is an example of someone being double-minded?
I think it's somebody who attempts to have an appearance of godliness on a Sunday morning, who comes in raising their hands, praising the Lord, and everything is good, everything is great. And then Monday through Saturday, there's no walk with Christ. They are essentially living like the world.
Yeah.
Monday through Saturday, and then they come in on Sunday and it's praise the Lord. Right. And I think that's this idea that you're double-minded, you're divided. That's really what it means. It's like well, it literally means two-spirited.
Yeah.
So it's this idea is that your soul is divided.
Yeah.
Right. Between God and between the world.
Yeah.
And you have to make a decision.
Yeah.
As Joshua said, choose today whom you're going to serve. Right? Because if you're living in both worlds, one foot in church and one foot in the world, why would you think that God would then be like, yes, let me grant you all this wisdom? Right? Because
which foot will you think it came from?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
And where are you going to give it credit to? And then what are you even going to do with it? If you were to receive it, right? So I think that's when I think of double-minded, that's what I think of. I think it's somebody who is trying to live 2 different lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you've ever done that, you know how exhausting it is,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
it's how unfruitful it is
Mm-hmm.
ultimately. So,
I think God just wants so much more for you.
yeah,
Like, and he wants his ways and he wants his glory, and he, as he should, right? But he also, I think he just also wants his children to, like, he doesn't want you to feel the tear and the
yeah,
double-mindedness, right? Because like that's tearing you apart,
mhm,
and he just wants so much better for you.
yeah,
And to be at war with yourself like that all the time is not doing anything. And that's, I think it's important to say, like, this is not to shame someone who is struggling with sins and gets to church on Sunday, right?
yeah,
Like, because
yeah,
sinners are welcome. The
yeah,
church is for the sick, like all of that. But it's saying be free from that. Like,
mhm,
you don't have to run right back into that on Monday. Like, there is a freedom that you can have, but you need to choose it.
yeah,
You
yeah,
need, like, get to the altar, get to, like, and I think I want to clarify that we're not saying if you messed up Saturday night, don't you dare come to church because you're
yeah,
double-minded. It's like,
yeah,
get here. This is exactly where we want.
mhm,
And we as believers, and especially God, wants so much more for you. And we want you to experience freedom,
mhm,
and we want you to experience what it means to be sanctified and to be born
yeah,
again. And so this isn't clean yourself up before you get here, but
yeah,
it's let's legitimately let God restore your heart.
mhm, yeah, no,
Yeah.
100%, but I also think there's a difference between the person who is struggling
Mhm.
with something and is trying
Mhm.
to work through it, right?
Mhm.
They have a sin they are trying to overcome,
Mhm.
and they are consistently seeking the Lord on it. And
Yeah.
it's that sin that so easily besets them, right?
Mhm.
I think there's a difference between that
Mhm.
and the person who says, I'm going to do what I want to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when I come to church on Sunday, I'm going to look like I have it all together.
Yeah.
And I think that's
Yeah, that's a
that's
dangerous place to be.
that's double-minded,
Mhm.
right? The
Mhm.
person who is struggling
Mhm.
on Monday morning
Mhm.
or a Tuesday afternoon or whatever it is,
Mhm.
but they're like, "Man, God, I did it again. I'm so sorry," right?
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
that's not double-minded. That's someone that
Yeah.
is, like, striving
Yeah.
to live out their faith, but it's
Yeah.
just struggling, right? And they probably need discipleship,
Yeah.
right? They
Mhm.
they probably need to grow
Yeah. There's
more.
that accountability in that village. Yeah,
Yes, they
that we
need
need.
true biblical community.
Mhm.
It's the person who says, "I will be who I wanna be
Mhm.
Monday through Saturday.
Mhm.
Sunday, God, you get me for an hour,
Mhm. And it'll be
and
a real good
and
performance.
for that hour,
Yeah.
I will do what you want me to do.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
rest of the week is me."
Mhm.
That's double-minded.
Yeah. That's
And
good.
but even if you're at that point,
Mhm.
like, God desperately wants all of you,
Yeah.
and he wants all of you because he knows what your life can be
Yeah.
if you just turn your life over to him.
Yeah.
So,
Cool. That's all I've got. So we've got Mother's Day
yeah,
next week. I think we're taking a break from James for
we
Mother's
are.
Day.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. We're going to encourage the moms.
Gonna try to.
You're going to tell us how awesome we are.
Pretty much, yeah.
Booyah. Cool. And then we'll be back in James after that.
Mhm.
I think I'm excited. I love the book of James.
I do
This
too.
has already been really, really good. So, we can't wait. We hope we see you on Sunday. Again, thank you so much for loving on our teens.
Yeah,
It was
absolutely.
just, if you were there at the end, we started cheering and chanting because we're going to church camp.
Yeah,
And it's just, this is really special that Northside makes it a priority to make sure that every kid who wants to go to
yeah,
church camp gets to go to church camp, pays in full. I mean, these kids, their only concern is what gold are they wearing for our team color,
yeah,
because I've been really harping them on that, and just like pack up and go, and just like, what a beautiful honor that our
yeah,
kids have, and they know how loved they are. I think that was one of the coolest things, is when the bids started going high, so many of our kids have never been to this auction,
yeah, yeah,
and so they didn't know what to expect. And I remember looking over at some of them, and like they're just like teary eyed,
yeah,
like just looking, going, wait, what are these adults willing to do?
Yeah.
Like, this cheesecake is not actually worth $300, but someone's going to pay that all in the name of sending me to camp. You know, like it just, yeah, we can't thank you guys enough for doing that. And because it just meant the world. And I think it was a good lesson for our teenagers to see just how much we love them. So,
yeah. Well, the cool thing about that was so many of our teens, the only connection they have to Northside was the youth ministry, right? Like their parents don't come.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not like they were Northside kids as a 3-year-old.
Yeah, they're not growing up here.
You know, and so they got to see that this church, whom maybe they've only been coming for a couple months or whatever it is, really truly loves them enough to visibly do something. So they get to go to camp and experience God.
And isn't that the love of Jesus?
Yes, 100%.
Cool. All right. Thank you guys so much. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you next time.
See you later.